Hey everybody, welcome to We Run on Reruns. I'm Amanda and I'm here with my brother Eric.
How you guys doing? We are here wrapping up season 3 for Friends with actually a 3-episode of We Run on Reruns, as we're going to do episodes 23, 24, and 25, since for whatever reason Friends decided to have one more episode this season.
I guess so.
Just again, want to shout out all of you who are active on our socials. We really appreciate it. Keep helping grow this community out. We really are enjoying seeing the likes and shares and the reposts going on. So please take a look. If you haven't found them yet, we're on Instagram, YouTube Shorts, the TikTok, the TikTok, as the old people say. I don't know why I said it like that. I'm like, man, I felt myself age like 40 years when I did that.
Here we are.
Where's my walker? It's getting rough.
The TikTok.
It's getting rough out here. I'm going to turn that into a TikTok.
Well, and listen, and we know we do like to repeat this at the beginning of a lot of these episodes and kind of close out with that too, but that's because we are very, new to getting started with this, and so we just like to give out these reminders for whoever is listening whenever they happen to listen. So we know that we don't have this massive bandwidth, band of people who are already, following with every single episode. So if you're here and you're listening for this one, the shout out is for you.
There you go.
So
you can find it somewhere on the internets.
On the interweb, on the World Wide Web.
Somewhere in cyberspace, I think is
love it. Yes.
Some of the
get that dial-up modem going.
There we go.
Get sharp.
Holy smokes.
So yes, I love it. That's so good. So where we left things off with our last episode earlier in the week, is we had Joey and Chandler becoming parents to a chick and a duck. Pete offered Monica a job running her own restaurant. Ross skipped a chance to be featured on the Discovery Channel to help Rachel after she hurt her rib. Phoebe was struggling to get someone on the phone about her phone's warranty issues. And the gang attended Joey's play, and Ross and Rachel both brought dates. Rachel's date, played by Ben Stiller, had some anger issues that only Ross really was initially aware of. So that's really where we left things. But as Eric said, today we're going to be closing out of season 3. Eric, I can't believe we're already finished with season 3. It's gone by fast.
It's gone by quick. And I know we've adjusted our podcast a few times in between getting from where we first started to now, which has made it feel even faster. So I think it'll probably feel a little bit slower as we keep going with it. That being said, we are really getting into the meat and potatoes of Friends, and people who have fallen in love with Friends. It's usually from these types of episodes that are on the horizon. I said a few episodes back, like after the breakup, it feels like there's just this lull of episodes, and we've seen that even through the ratings from IMDb. They've all been like low 8s except for one, or even into the 7s. That being said, I do think we're not far from digging our way out of this. And it might not be today, but I feel like we might have some pretty decent ones here today. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, Eric,
I'm curious what the ratings
I've shared with you. I am too. And I mean, you know how I feel about season 4 and 5. Those are two of my favorites. So I definitely see some really high scores. I know coming from my side, that's for sure. And hopefully, sometimes the people will agree with me. Sometimes we'll be at odds. But yeah, I feel like there's definitely some high scores coming. So Eric, with episode 23, the one with Ross's thing.
Yeah.
What's the synopsis that we have here?
Okay, so our synopsis for this one is that Ross has got a skin abnormality that no doctor has the ability to identify. So Phoebe hooks him up with her herbal guy. Meanwhile, Phoebe is dating two guys and enjoying it, but she decides that she needs to break up with one of them and can't figure out what to do. Meanwhile, Joey stumbles into Pete's checkbook registry and sees that he has spent $50,000 on a ring designer, and the gang believes that he is going to propose. But when he tells Monica that he wants to be the ultimate fighting champion, she realizes she had the wrong idea.
Yeah, I mean,
As
we're only
you
dating a couple weeks. 50. I mean, listen, I know that that Pete is extremely wealthy, but wow, $50,000.
That'd be something.
Hello.
That being said, Pete has been aggressively seeking after this relationship. This is not.
Okay.
This is not out of line. Do we want to jump in? I guess we're going to jump into this one. Let's jump into the ring design. You're thinking it's too fast.
Sure. Well, I mean, yeah. I think it's extraordinarily fast, especially because, I mean, they've only been dating a couple weeks, and Monica literally just realized that she liked him at all, right? And now she's considering, oh, maybe I would say yes. It's like, wait, what is going on here? But yeah, they're in Pete's office. Joey sees, of all people, who ends up finding in his ledger that he spent all this money on, Hugo's ring design. And I love how Ross is almost like immediately, call mom.
Yeah.
At which point it's like doing the auto dial to Pete's mom, because they're in Pete's office with all of these like fancy video callers hooked up. And so they're all trying to hide from people who are being called in, and unsuccessfully so. But yeah, Monica even calls out right away, we've only been going out for a couple weeks, but then she's saying, but I am crazy about Pete, and I know we want the same things. And I'm thinking, do you though? Which we find out quickly, they do not.
Okay.
But I guess in this moment, I think the way I took that, Eric, was they want the same things, meaning he's probably expressed that he wants kids. That's how I interpreted that, because that was the thing that she established quickly with Richard that he didn't want. So I feel like Monica's the type of person who would have quickly asked, like, hey, by the way, casually, just asking for no reason in particular, do you want kids, right?
Okay. That would check out. Like, she would be the one to do that. He would have to have signed off on that. That being said, we don't actually see any of that in the show.
No.
So I'm going to stick to what we have in fact seen. Monica has said that he checks all the boxes. She's just not very attracted to him. That has been said. Like, on paper, he is everything that she would want in a guy, except that she's just not that attracted to him. Now, in the last episode, she realizes she's more attracted to him than she thinks she is. So if he checks all the boxes, and now the one thing that she was questioning, she's not questioning anymore, I can understand how this could turn into maybe I would say yes to this.
Right, like sometimes when you know. That's fair.
Now, I'm not saying that it would have worked out, and clearly he's not even asking. So it's a moot point regardless. But it is interesting watching her go through and watching like Rachel buy the bridal magazines and go like start trying to pitch it. And this is where all I was thinking of was a couple podcasts ago, I was talking about how Ross had to take the brunt of the breakup. He had to take the brunt of the breakup, and they wrote it so that he was the less likable one. Because then we get Rachel in this episode saying things like, maybe the theme for your wedding can be, look how much money we've got. And you could put money in the invitations, and you can have the money bouquet. And it's just like, she would be so unlikable. You could easily hate this character.
I was just imagining what it would be like to catch the money bouquet. Like, oh God, Rachel.
you could easily hate Rachel. Like, it's very easy to do it. And this is the sort of stuff that she says that Jennifer Aniston makes likable, that if it was said in slightly a different way, it would be like, wow, this girl's awful. She's got to go.
Yeah, because she almost, it's like, oh, Rachel, she means well. It's like she's really sweet, and we know, like, she has all these other parts of her character that have now been established, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like, this is her maybe not fully letting go of that other, not so distant part of herself, right?
No,
like, that wasn't too long ago in reality. Like, it's really only been a couple years that she's been independent and living on her own, but
it's a regression all the way back to the beginning of her character, though, where it's like, oh, I'm gonna marry Barry just because he's a doctor. Like, it's the same vibe, and it's just it doesn't fit it doesn't fit this Rachel anymore, so it stands out as being a little weird. For sure, but I do enjoy watching Rachel take the initiative of at least talking about the wedding and like what you could do for the wedding, because usually that's Monica. Like, Monica is the one organizing. And even though Rachel is doing a horrible job of organizing it and just revolving everything around how rich Pete is, the idea that she's like hyping her up about a potential wedding is fun to see. And I would imagine that would be relatively accurate.
Yeah, and I do have a line written down from the beginning of this storyline where, like, Monica finds out that Pete needs to talk to her, right? So she's already kind of spiraling, thinking, oh, like, he's going to break up with me. And she's like, you know, she's telling the gang, like, Pete said he needs to talk to me when he gets home. And, you know, Joey's like, that doesn't mean he's going to break up with you. Maybe he just cheated on you. As if that's going to bring her some peace of mind of like, oh, Joey. That's not what you say to Monica. And now, of course, she's freaking out. Yeah.
And I will say, we do get a moment here with Joey again, too, where it's like slightly later, and Monica's saying, you know, I've got to go over and water Pete's plants, but if he's just going to break up with me, then I don't care if I have to water the plants. Why should I even go over? And Chandler goes, maybe Joey and I should go over there and water the plants. And then Joey responds with, or we could go over there and just pee on them.
Yeah.
And it's like, Joey, we got it the first time,
we got
bro.
There. Right. Without you actually saying the words. Right. And then, you know, at the end of all this, when Monica is super dressed up and they're back at Pete's office, and although, Eric, is this just Pete's office or is this also his house?
I assume this is his house.
Okay, it's like his office in his house, because I'm like, why are they at his house at night, or at his office at night, like after?
No, I believe this is Pete's house.
It's just
I've never doubted that it was an office, but I would assume that Pete, as wealthy as he is, has stuff to complete his work at home. A
massive home office, So, all that being said, so when he's like explaining to her, well, I've accomplished all these different parts of my life, and now it's time for me to conquer the physical world.
Yes.
You know, I want to become the ultimate fighting champion. She's like, say what now? Right? Because she says to him, oh, I haven't been thinking about it at all. Like, she hasn't just been obsessing about what he's possibly going to ask her. And she's like, oh, yeah, Mom's going to be so proud. It's like, oh, Pete.
Oh, just... And the way that he sets that speech up, if we're all in Monica's position, right? We're all in Monica's shoes. We have seen and heard about this ledger. We know that he spent money on a ring. He's set romantic lights to come in, and they're both there. Clearly have gone out to a very fancy dinner. Yes. And he starts walking down the lane of all the things that he's done in his life and the one thing that he's missing, and then he drops, I have to conquer the physical world. And she's like,
I'm like,
what?
Who needs to do that now? Yeah.
And I mean, I understand from Pete's character this transition.
Right.
I get it.
Right.
The guy who gets everything realizes there's one gap in his like portfolio and we've got to fill that. Now, you don't have to fill it in the UFC. Okay? That might not be the way to conquer the physical world. But
insane.
I understand wanting to be the best at everything when you are that successful at that high a level. I get that. Those people have drive that is through the roof. But from Monica's point of view, this is just like an absolute punch to the gut. And what's funny is, I mean, not to get too far ahead of us, but this is one of those times where like this episode and the next episode literally like blend hours, because Monica arrives at the next episode, like talking about what happened at Pete's.
Yeah.
Like, and they're all figuring. So it's just like real, like there's no time spent in between.
Right. Yep.
Yeah. Now I will say, boy, do I like the Ross story here with the skin abnormality on him. And there isn't a scene for this that doesn't go great. They're all really good. They're all funny to their own. But when this starts off with him going to Joey and Chandler, and trying to explain the situation, and they're like, no, we're not going to look at it. And he just kind of like shows it to him anyway. And they're like, trying to describe what it is. And Rachel walks in the door. Yeah. Rachel walks in the door while Ross is like got his pants half down, and Joey and Chandler are like, we're getting real close to his butt. It's like, what am I looking at right now? That sets the scene for how this is going to go the rest of the way, which is great.
I know. I love some of those lines. Is it a pimple? It's fancier than a pimple.
Fancier than a pimple. Fancier, too. I want to know
that's what Chandler
this thing has to look like to be fancier than a pimple. What would a skin abnormality be to be fancier than a pimple? What do you think?
Well, I don't know, but
nothing.
then after
I got nothing.
Well, then after Rachel walks in, Chandler then goes, "All right, it's official. Only 2 more weeks of winter."
That is a good cover
I'm like,
up.
I guess it's
what else are you
fancy
gonna do?
enough that it casts a shadow. I guess I don't
know. Ooh. Now we're talking. Now maybe we're on to something.
Yes. Yeah. But yeah, then when Ross is so distraught when he shows up back at Central Perk, which I guess later in the day, and he's just saying it's some type of skin abnormality. He was reluctant to remove it after he had gone to the doctor that I guess Chandler had recommended him to go see.
No.
This was his own doctor. That's right.
This was his own doctor.
His own doctor, because then Chandler is gonna recommend his doctor who removed his third nipple, because he's like, well, he just lopped that thing right off, so you should go to see him. But as they're kind of talking about it at Central Perk, Joey comes in with the line, maybe we'll name yours after you. It'll be like the Ross. And then people will be like, oh, you got a Ross. And then Ross is just like, yeah, that would be great. Like, completely sarcastic, obviously, because who wants something named after them that's, like, fancier than a pimple? Some type of weird skin abnormality. Not me.
Listen.
Oh, Joey. Joey's having some real moments.
People would love to have stuff named after them, but to have something named after them that you go, oh, you've got a Ross. That's not the one. That's not the one.
Yeah, that would be cool.
That's a line that I should be using in my everyday language that I don't, and maybe I'm going to start now. I think that's such a that's a good one to pull. Hey, let us know. Do you use that line? You should. Like, it's a good line to use. Put it in the comments somewhere.
To the people. Right.
Yeah. Let's all just commit to start using that line more often.
I like that very much. Well,
so anyway,
and the scene with him seeing the doctor, though, Eric, I have to say, where he goes into this doctor's office and he immediately starts to roll his pants down again, saying he has a third nipple. And I love the doctor's reaction immediately. He's like, well, that's not a third nipple. First of all, it's on your ass.
That would not be a third nipple.
Matter of fact about it. And then he immediately starts calling his doctor friends in. Hold on, Jensen, come in here. I'm with Hamilton. It's all right, he's good with weird things. Bring him in too. And you just hear these doctors like chattering in the background. Oh, so good.
Yeah, I mean, and then you cut from that and eventually you go back there and they've got about 47 doctors around Ross, all staring, trying to figure it out like he's some sort of science project. And it's like, what? How fancy is this thing? I need to see it. I need to know.
Well, yeah, because there's like 30 white coats in this small room and Ross has no pants on. He's just like face down on a table with like this blanket, the little towel over him or blanket over him. And it's like, I've been doing medicine for 23 years, and this is astonishing, is what they're saying. And meanwhile, no one can help him. Still, no one knows what it is, so Ross has to resort to seeing Guru Saj, who is Phoebe's doctor. Ooh. And it's like, wow, for Ross to go to one of Phoebe's doctors, he must have been feeling desperate, because he must have really put up a fight.
Well, it was really Monica. Because
was it? I figured.
Because Phoebe gave the name. She gave him the card.
Yeah.
But he was like, I'm not going to see this guy. And Monica said, listen, when girls sleep with guys who have weird stuff on them, they tell their friends.
Oh, that's right.
He was like, give me the card. God. Give me the card.
Thank you. That's right. I'm like, why does that? I missed that part. Yep.
And it's funny because you see him like yank the card out of Phoebe's hand and stand up, and Monica, not off camera, but kind of off, like clearly not the focus. She kind of gives Phoebe this look like, yeah, I got it. Like, don't worry. Like, we made that happen. Uh-huh. Yeah, really, really good. Like, good line from Monica to make it happen. But then goes to see Guru Saj, who uses his herbal wristwatch.
Oh, as I suspected, it's a Kundus. What's a Kundus?
It's a Kundus.
I don't know. What's a Kundus with you? He's like, okay, enough jokes.
He's like, cannot go to this guy.
He like sprinkles something on her, and then immediately he's like, we appear to have angered it. And he's like, we're gonna have to use a much stronger tool, love. Which, Ross
is like, oh my God. Yes. Like, this is the end.
So he starts doing this, like, aura cleansing or something over him, but then, just clips it right off with his wristwatch, which, you know what, I have to say, Eric, every time I watch that, I'm like, you know what, his watch really is not close enough. I mean, how large is this Kundus? He was not even that close.
It's huge.
My God.
It was angered, though. It was angered.
It was upset. And now it's gone.
We don't know. We don't know. I will say, and I know we've had this discussion before, I'm shocked that this episode is not called The One with the Kundus. This is called The One with Ross's Thing.
Yes. Yes.
Like, I feel like that's a missed opportunity.
Well,
like, you gotta call it.
I'm glad that you brought that up because, when I saw that title, I at first thought that I must have gone to the wrong season or something, because when I hear The One with Ross's Thing, I'm thinking of Phoebe going to him, that's your thing. You're the divorce guy.
Good call.
Divorce? That's not my thing. He gets so upset. And so when I hear The One with Ross's Thing, that's where my mind goes.
That's a good call. I didn't even think about that. But I'm just like, The One with Ross's Thing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. The One with the Kundus would have been a way better title, but it is what it is.
Yeah. But this last section, with the two guys, right?
Yeah. This is a really interesting segment. I do like this story for
Me
Phoebe,
too.
by the way. I like it quite a bit. I think it's very plausible for her as well that she's like playing the field, right?
Yeah.
She's dating two guys at the same time. And Phoebe is a free spirit. And, you know, she hasn't had, to our knowledge, any sort of long-term relationship. So this is not shocking.
That comes up later where she confirms, that she really had never had a long-term relationship until we, until she meets, oh my goodness, now I'm forgetting his name, the guy who was the police officer. Totally spacing on that, Eric, if you remember what his name was. But yeah, he's the cop who shoots the bird. And that ends rather.
It's Michael Rapaport is who it is.
Yes, exactly. I can picture him, but I cannot think of his name.
I give me a minute. I'll come up with the name.
But
that being said, she's dating Vince the fireman and also Jason the kindergarten teacher.
That's right.
And I do like when she's introducing Vince at first. We meet Vince first. Me too. And you know, he was talking about how he has 98, fire rescues.
Hot saves.
Or hot rescues.
Yes.
Hot saves. Yes. And Chandler says something like, oh, well, if me and Joey play with matches, we can get you up to an even 100.
Oh, God.
And his response is, fire safety is not a joke, son. And I'm like, son.
I know.
Like that line is so funny to me. Because he added the word son.
It was hilarious. I agree, because they're the same age. But this guy is like this very like brawny, masculine, like he has this really deep voice. He's like, fire safety's not a joke, son. Yeah, and Chandler's like, oh God, like just immediately
oh, I'm sorry, sir.
Put his place right. Yeah, and that was so good for sure. I don't think there was a scene where she introduces Jason to the group. So she was definitely
no.
Yeah.
I don't believe we see a Jason introduction to the other friends, but we see him at Central Perk later.
Right. But Monica immediately, reacts to Phoebe saying, wow, two dates in one day? That's so unlike you, and because while Phoebe is a free spirit, I feel like she also, tends to, even though she hasn't had a long-term relationship, but she's still really only dated, one person at a time. Oh. So this whole situation was very different for her. And
agreed.
And I felt like, she could have even played this, well, as we find out at the end of this storyline, it's like they were both sort of pretty much okay with it until more of the details started to come out, but it didn't. It's almost like if
that's why you don't have them cross paths.
Well, exactly. Like, I think if she had been just more upfront saying like, okay, well, this is open for now as we get to know each other. I'm dating someone else as well. Then it would have been like, all right, things are good. And it wouldn't have been a big deal. Right. But I think she was then caught up so much in stressing about it. Like, who am I going to pick? Who do I like more? Which I also understand if you haven't really, been used to doing that. I know like juggling more than one relationship to me also just doesn't sound appealing. So it's like, that's as you're getting to know someone, trying to get to know someone else and like take both like somewhat seriously. Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah.
Well, and I only say, I mean, maybe I can take back a little bit of what I said at the beginning here when I talk about how Phoebe seems like the one who would be able to do this.
Sure.
I only say that in comparison really to Rachel and Monica.
Sure.
Like Rachel and Monica are not doing this.
Right.
I just don't see a world in which either of them are dating multiple people.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Phoebe would be willing to do it. Like Ross isn't going to date multiple people. I don't believe Chandler's dating multiple people. Joey, he could pull it off.
Joey definitely has. Yeah. Not a big deal for Joey.
Like
Joey's currently probably
No, not
dating in the background more than one person. We just don't know about it.
Well, that's probably true now.
Um,
But anyway, we have this whole thing, which is very, it's funny how it's told out, but she's essentially trying to choose, does she want like the physical attraction,
yes.
or does she want sensitivity? Mm-hmm. And I love how she decides, okay, you know, long term, it's better to have like the sensitive guy. So I'm going to pick Jason. I'm going to go break up with Vince. And she goes to the fire station where he's being all masculine and stuff. And she's talking to him about needing to end it. And then he's deciding, I have to go write in my journal about this. And he's like in tears.
Yes.
And all of a sudden, she's like, wait a minute. You're the physically good looking one and also super sensitive.
Yes.
Hold on.
Hang on. And she chases after him.
And so she chases him, and apparently she gets shown all these charcoal artwork drawings that he does. And so, okay, well, we've got to go break up with Jason. And she goes to break up with Jason. He opens his apartment door, and he's shirtless, like doing construction in his house.
He has like 12
with
abs.
like 7 million abs. Like, and it's like, where'd this guy come from?
Yeah.
And she's just floored. Super funny.
I feel like the look on his face is
funny.
really funny too, because it's almost like he's like, yeah, that's right. He didn't have his he intentionally knew that she was coming over. He's like, oh, just this? Yes. These are my abs.
Like, he's
welcome to them.
He's clearly in better shape than Vince is.
Well,
gotta be.
I don't know about that.
Gotta be.
Well,
Vince is in good shape.
Yeah. Vince is a
I couldn't even count all the abs that Jason's got.
Well, yeah, and then at the end here, where then they both end up at Central Perk, and Phoebe is forced to confront both of them with everything that's been going on. It's like she finally just kind of breaks down. I've been dating both of you, and it's horrible because it's been really fun for me. And I'm terrible. They're like, it's fine. Like, it's really no big deal. But then when Jason finds out that she's actually slept with Vince, that's when he's like, well, I'm out of here. Forget this. And then she's like, well, she had explained, I gave you a candlelit dinner in the park. And he's like, are you telling me you've had an open flame in a wooden area? I can't believe I went out with you. And then he just runs off as well. So now Phoebe's left with no one.
Yeah. Listen, Vince, dude, chill out with that. Okay? Like, listen.
Hey,
Vince, I understand you're a firefighter.
He's seen a lot. All right. He's had a lot of hot scenes.
Like, I understand. That's a massive overreaction from Vince. Just saying. I'm just throwing it out there, Vince. You're throwing away a relationship because somebody had a candle? Get out of here.
All right, Eric. It starts with a candle.
I suppose.
But yeah.
We also get the great line from Phoebe in the middle of this episode. Does a dog's lips move when he reads? And I have to ask you, Amanda, do they?
100%. Yes. Because he's not a good reader.
Like, that was obviously a yes or no. And apparently I think she meant yes by that. But I have no idea. That was kind of crazy. All right, so now we're going to jump into Season 3, Episode 24. This is The One with the Ultimate Fighting Champion, where Pete starts his training for the Ultimate Fighting Championship, and Monica is having a hard time supporting him through it. Chandler has a new boss who likes to show his appreciation to his employees in a very unique way. And Phoebe asked Rachel if she can set Ross up on a date, and she agrees, because she thinks that she's setting him up with someone who's bald. So Ross starts to date Bonnie, and that girl has hair all over her head.
Yes.
So,
well, Eric,
what do you want to do?
I have to kick off this discussion with a line that really has no meaning to this episode otherwise, but Chandler at the very beginning just comes out with, do you think there's a town in Missouri or someplace called Sample? And as you're driving through that town at some point, you come across a sign that says, "You're in Sample."
Yeah.
That's it.
You know
All we
what?
have.
I guarantee you there is. I guarantee you there is, Chandler. I didn't look it up, but I almost guarantee there is a town called Sample. It seems like easy enough name of a town.
And if there's a sign, I want it now.
We do actually start this episode with Robin Williams and Billy Crystal.
Yes. Yes. Well, that is a good point. And I love this opener. It is so random.
It's so random.
It's amazing. It's so funny because Monica, as you said, like this episode just rolls right into, the last episode rolled right into this one because this is clearly the next day after she had been talking with Pete, because she's coming into Central Perk and she's trying to tell them what happened with her and Pete. And as she's kind of just getting started, Billy Crystal and Robin Williams just like show up and they're squeezed in at the end of the couch having this really loud conversation where Robin is saying how like his wife, he believes that she's sleeping with her gynecologist, and then like Billy ends up confessing that it was him, and like Robin Williams just like flips out and he's using some accent which I don't know, I didn't identify it, but he's just
Robin Williams accent is what it is. He's just doing his thing.
I know. And he's like flipping out. He just ends up being like, "You're a bastard," and just gets up and like runs out, and they're all just like, what just happened here?
I have to think that they came in and the producers and the writers and everybody for Friends were like, "Hey, you got 5 minutes. Or 2 minutes.
Yes.
Do whatever you want.
Yes.
Do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being here." And they just came up with
like,
this. And it's, I mean, they could say whatever they want. It's going to be funny. And it was.
Oh my gosh.
But it's so random. It's not connected to anything. Yeah. It's out of place.
No.
It's so weird. But it is funny.
I love both of them so much. Oh my goodness. I miss Robin Williams so much. He was just one of the greatest of all time. And just,
yeah, he really was.
Way too young, but yeah, really, really was like just so amazing, and everything he touched was just always good.
So
and
not to
that he was on Friends.
Not to veer too far. What would be like your? I'm not gonna make it say your favorite, but give me one of your favorite Robin Williams things or most memorable for performances for you.
Well, so it's funny because I love thinking back to growing up. We watched Mork and Mindy, like
sure did.
A lot.
Yeah,
and
Nick and
that's
Night.
Really where I fell in love with him.
Yes,
and just I've still like rewatched those episodes. He is just, it's classic Robin Williams. Between that and his stand-up, which always left him like drenched in sweat.
Yep.
Might have been some of the cocaine too, but yeah, he was really just really, really funny. And I also, will always love him in like Mrs. Doubtfire. I mean, that movie was just also, and he was brilliant. Seriously,
that movie came out. That movie came out when we were like the perfect age to see that movie.
Yes.
We were probably just before middle schoolish, maybe sixth grade, somewhere in that range. It was a super funny movie because we were like the age the kids were, maybe a little bit older, maybe a little bit younger, somewhere in that range. I will also always say that Aladdin is like way high. Him as the genie is iconic. And
he was so
I know he's obviously not visibly in that movie, but you want an opportunity to showcase all the things you can do without even being present, just your voice, boy, he set that on fire. And I'll say this, I know Disney did all these remakes of the live actions, and everybody's got their own opinions on this. And I will stand here and say, I feel like Will Smith did a pretty darn good job, like holding up his end of the bargain, like being the genie in the live remake of Aladdin. But it's like an unrepeatable role. Like, it's hard to play anything off of that.
Yeah.
He was so good that no one wants to see anything other than that genie.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and I also did love, though, where he took on some more dramatic type roles too, like Good Will Hunting, where he plays the therapist, where he was able to like insert his humor still in, but you just saw him bring out this other side of his character, and I just thought that was really amazing. What's the other one where he?
I think of Patch Adams as one of those two. He did a good job there.
Yeah,
it's
more
not
of a
maybe
drama. Yeah,
a little bit more dramatic, not quite.
Although, and I guess Mrs. Doubtfire was too, but it was.
I mean, it had its listen. That's humorous. A comedy, but it had moments of drama for sure.
But that was an emotional roller coaster.
Oh, yeah.
That's one movie where, like, I personally, I watched that a lot when I was young, but I don't, like, just knowing what you're in for, I'm like, I would just be crying I'd be a mess watching that now. It's, because it's a lot. But the other one I was thinking of was 1 Hour Photo. Did you ever see that one?
Sure. Yeah,
that's a good one. Ugh.
Well, that's a lot of Robin Williams for the 30 seconds that he's in this Friends episode.
I also love Billy Crystal too, but yeah.
I was going to say, Billy Crystal, obviously, we could do the same thing with, but as it is now the late Robin Williams, and I knew you were going to say Mork and Mindy because we grew up watching that on rerun all the time.
Yeah.
Well, let's get into the let's get into the UFC side of this. I feel like that's a pretty big section of this. And it's actually kind of funny because for me, like, I grew up watching a lot of WWE, WWF, WWE, depending on the time.
At the time.
WWF at this point in time, WWE now. And UFC was like barely getting into it. And now it is an absolute behemoth in that industry.
Yeah.
And so to see Friends kind of pull this in,
it's true.
to the point where we get Pete's training and we get Monica going and questioning the training and trying to make sure this is okay, and Ross is trying to explain what UFC is. But when we get to the actual fight later in the episode, they roll in his opponent, Tank Abbott, who's a legit UFC fighter.
Oh, he was. Oh Absolutely. My gosh. Okay.
The guy that does the ring announcement is Bruce Buffer. He did their announcing.
Gotcha.
Tito Ortiz, who's another UFC guy, was in Tank Abbott's corner. You only saw him for like a blink, but he was there. So they rolled out all their guys to be
I'm
like,
glad
hey,
you're here for this information because no idea.
No, like this is the thing. I did read that they had to do the take of Tank Abbott like running across the ring with Pete on his shoulders like a whole bunch of times, and I don't know why, but like Jon Favreau is not a small guy.
No.
And Tank Abbott apparently was like gassed by the end. He's like, I don't know what we're doing, like, cuz he's like full dead sprinting with a guy that's like, I don't know, 200 plus easy.
Yeah, like, yeah.
You know? And
225? Like, yeah, I don't know.
I'm not going to guess his weight, but he's easily over 2, especially at this point in his career. Like, that's a lot of weight to be just running with. So apparently they did that a whole lot of times, and it's very very funny to see. But I just wanted to take a moment to say, hey, all these guys are in it, and they are legit. And so I felt like this was kind of, it's not really a crossover, but it was definitely a worthwhile promotion for UFC to get involved with friends at this point, because UFC was nothing at this time. They were very small.
I didn't know about UFC until probably like 2008. Like when I think about when I started to see and people talk about it a lot, and people got into watching them on, the different, I don't know if it's called matches or what the
like their premium live events or whatever.
It was after I graduated from college. I could picture like people would come over, and like a couple of the guys that I lived with at the time would would be really into watching the different fights on TV, and I was like, oh, this is actually like pretty entertaining, and I was really I liked it too. So yeah,
they used to all be called pay-per-views, but pay-per-view doesn't really exist to that metric anymore. So I know WWE calls them premium live events. I don't know what UFC calls them, but they're all like streaming on Netflix or wherever, because that's now how you access all this stuff.
Well, I do like to when the gang is all asking Monica, so like, hey, so what happened with Pete? And she's like, well, he didn't ask me to marry him. And Phoebe just goes, well, then definitely don't take his name.
No, definitely not. Not now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the guys immediately jump in, and they're like, yeah, that's crazy. Right. Like, they do actual like crazy things, and there are no rules, and I don't think that that's really true for UFC.
Well,
there's no
fish hooking.
Well, oh gosh, what have you been touching?
It's like, I washed my hands after I gave the duck a bath. Yeah. The UFC at one point felt like it was almost too brutal for TV.
Yeah.
At this juncture, it was like, is this really going to be a thing? This feels like too far, because wrestling had dominated the industry, but it was clearly staged. And then like the other sports are like, more sport type sports, I guess.
Well,
they're not physical combat. And boxing
it's more like boxing, right?
It's more like boxing, but boxing, it's like, okay, but they have gloves. They take there's like a break. There's no, I don't know, like you saw guys who would like break bones and do like crazy stuff in the middle of the ring. And hey, it caught on real quick. Or not real quick. It took a minute, but it stayed. And then somewhere in the early 2000s, like there was a wave of people who this was no longer like taboo almost to watch, and it became just straight up mainstream. And now, I believe, if memory serves, the UFC is owned by this company called TKO Sports, who now owns like the WWE. So all of these things are all like connected together.
Of course it is. That's so sad when that happens.
Well, okay, but the UFC owns the WWE, not the other way around, which years ago it would have been the opposite. No, and now it's not.
It's just like, wow, of course, like it's a giant conglomerate that's owning, the businesses that we think are separate are never really separate, right? Like that's
no, I mean it's the same, but typical. It's the same as like Disney owning ABC and ESPN. Like,
it's just
nobody thinks ESPN is Disney, but it is.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I do like after Pete goes, he's like, it's okay, I'll use his strength and weight against him, and then immediately gets destroyed in that scene where he has him up on his shoulders and spinning him around, like literally right away. And then when Monica meets up with him after the fight, she's like, Pete, it's me, Monica. And at this point, he's beat up, but wow, it gets a lot worse for Pete. Because then by the end of this, he's
like almost in a full body cast.
Yeah. And he's asking her like, well, let me ask you a question. Am I the ultimate fighting champion? and, if you're asking me to quit, well, you're asking me to be someone that I'm not, and I have to do this. And that to me, like you were saying, I think it was in the last episode, like when we were talking about that, it's like that does track for his personality. I mean, it makes sense for Pete to be making this decision because I feel like these are the types of decisions that he's been making his whole life, but it just makes him really shitty, I think, for chasing Monica as hard as he was to then just be like, yeah, well, this is my priority. Like, oh, I guess I'll, like, he just assumed that she would just be along for the ride, right? Because it's kind of the Pete show. And she's just kind of there if she wants to be, but she's like,
she said they wanted the same things. She said they wanted the same things.
Well, and that's what I'm saying is like how many of those boxes, when she said he checked off all the boxes, how many boxes did she have? Like, I want to see that checklist, Monica, because I don't buy that.
Not long enough.
Yeah.
Listen, Pete, like in a realistic world, Pete gets absolutely crushed twice in a row. Like, he's not even getting that many more matches in the UFC because people are like, they're not even going to put him out there because he's just getting killed.
Full body cast. How long would that take to recover from that?
Well, that's what I'm saying. He's going to take a while to recover, and then when he goes back out there, they're going to be like, hey, this guy's 0-2 and coming off a significant injury. Who wants to fight him? And everyone's going to be like, nobody. Like, he doesn't do anything. If I beat him, nobody cares. So,
I know.
His days in UFC are numbered anyway.
I love when on the second fight, because Pete's coach had said to him, well, I think Monica being there was a distraction. And she's like, yeah, I'm sure that's what the problem was. So they're back at their apartment. Ross is grilling up some hot dogs and burgers on the grill. And I just love how you just hear Joey's voice saying, fight's over, from the other room. Before they even got sat down in front of the TV, it was already done. And Pete was already in the full body cast. Although, Eric, you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, then after they broke up, wasn't there another sequence at the very end where Pete was supposedly back out fighting again? I guess we'll just have to suspend our imaginations for that one.
Well, maybe he's a fast healer.
Okay. Wow.
Maybe they let him fight in the full body cast.
Oh my god. I mean, they must have. I thought
goodness.
I misremembered that for a second. But
yeah, no, you didn't. That did in fact happen. Yeah. Listen, it is what it is. I will say this just about Pete real quick. I'm kind of surprised we never get like a Pete comeback. Like, I feel like there's a moment where Pete can be like, okay, this never worked out. Let me go back and try to get Monica. Like, I feel like there was a window where they could have worked that in. Now, I know that's not really in the cards here coming up in the next season or so. But I feel like there would have been, like, of all the guys, he would be the one to come back and have like a potential relationship or attempt it at least. But we never get that. Like, this is it. Pete's done.
I guess I can kind of see that, but at the same time, like, Richard just made more sense if anyone were to come back, because he and Monica actually, and exactly, so that just makes more sense to me. And you can't have more than, I feel like having too many repeats from the past would just seem weird. But like, for Pete to come back, I don't know. I kind of disagree with you there, because it's like, dude, you worked so hard and then just threw it all away. So for Monica to like give you a second thought after all of that insanity, and then you just were like, I'm gonna, conquer the physical world. Yeah. It's like, good luck to you, buddy. Like, that's not.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that Monica would have accepted the comeback, but I'm surprised we never saw him attempt to come back.
Right. That would have been funny for sure.
That's what I'm saying. That being said,
yes.
Let's talk about Boss Man Bing.
Did you recognize
Chandler's
him?
New boss here. Oh, I 100% recognize him. I had that written down to see if you recognized him.
Of course.
But I knew you would.
Yeah.
So where do you recognize him from?
Well, only from a movie that I've seen probably 300 times, Christmas Vacation. He plays Chevy Chase's.
I knew, like, every time he shows up
Yes.
to talk to Chevy Chase about the pool, I'm like, Boss Man Ping!
The last true family man.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. This is kind of a weird story, but I do really find it funny. I don't know what it is about this story
ridiculous.
That I find so funny.
Yes.
But like Doug, the new boss, is in town, and Chandler is apparently his guy. And so every time he does something good, he's slapping him on the butt like he's rounding first base for a baseball team or coming off the field for football. And I do like he's so weirded out by it. He goes back to the apartment and I forget what Ross says. He says something nice. He's like, okay. And then slaps Ross on the butt and he's like, dude, what are you doing?
He's like, exactly.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
That's what I meant.
He's like, and I don't want to be the guy going around to my boss saying, please don't slap my bottom. And Monica's like, gotta tell you, I think it's okay to be that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of those things, but I will say when it's all said and done, he does have the conversation with him. Doug seems to be agreeable to it. But then when all the other employees are getting slapped on the butt, Chandler's like, okay, I actually do want it.
Oh my gosh.
I do want to accept it this way, which is really funny.
Do you know who always stands out to me in this storyline as well? Do you recognize one of his coworkers?
Yes, I recognize the guy, and I don't know the character's name in Friends.
Me either.
But one of his coworkers has got like reddish blonde curly hair.
Yep.
And he is the guy that was on Clarissa Explains It All
Yes!
as the dad.
He was the dad.
Yes.
Right, I think of that every time I see
And he's the one who says, we never get smacks. I have a kid starting Dartmouth in the fall. I need to get smacked.
Oh my gosh. Oh, well, and how about when Joey comes back, he's trying to give him advice and he's like, yeah, what if you like rubbed something that didn't smell so good on your butt? So that would like prevent him from wanting to slap you. Now, what could you rub on your butt that smells bad? And it's just like, they all look at Joey like, are you kidding me? And then Chandler just goes, what if Joey was president?
Yes. Well, what if? I will say I do use this line from this episode all the time, and I quote Doug all the time because he's standing in front of the graph and he looks at it and he goes, in conclusion, if all the lines go up, then I'm happy. and I have used that line in my classroom when talking about like grade growth. It's like, hey, you guys all started here and we're all up here. If all the lines go up, then I'm happy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's fine. I think Doug is super funny. His storylines always are a little awkward, but I think those episodes with him, he's not quite on the same level as like Janice and Frank Jr. or Eddie. But he's like in that next tier of like side characters. He's way better than Joanna. Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, there's some really funny when he's on with Monica. That's probably my favorite one where Monica's getting really intense
with the
about
laughs.
The tennis. Yeah. It's my work laugh. Yeah. Oh gosh. Yeah, but I do like the Bonnie storyline here where Phoebe, was kind enough to ask Rachel, hey, is it cool with you if I set my friend Bonnie up with Ross? She has shown interest and she's kind of explaining, wait, which one is Bonnie again? And then Phoebe gives a bunch of explanations, and then she finally gets to the fact, oh, and she was my bald friend. She's like, oh, sure, that sounds great. That's perfectly fine, because obviously Rachel's thinking, yeah, I'll set him up with a bald girl. That's totally cool. Well, as Eric said in his synopsis, she has hair all over her head, as Rachel put it. And,
sure does.
Yeah, and she's like, and I like...
And she's played by Christine Taylor, too, by the way, and those of us who don't know, who, ironically, we just had Ben Stiller, and the two of them were past tense married, I believe.
Oh, are they no longer married? I was going to point that out, too.
I don't think so. I'll Google it again, but they definitely were married for quite a while.
Well, it's funny because I was going to bring that up too, because one thing I'm like, oh, did they meet on Friends? Because his episode,
they missed each other by a minute.
Yeah, and apparently they didn't meet until 99, according to my deep dive into Google anyway. So maybe that's incorrect, but apparently they must have met shortly after.
Oh no, still married. My bad. Oh,
they are. Okay, that's
currently married.
I thought
still.
So, but okay. Yeah, so I like when Rachel just says,
well.
No, what were you gonna say?
Sorry, just talking to myself into the microphone. Apparently,
okay.
It was another long-standing couple like that I was reading about. That, I know Courtney Cox and
I know David Arquette. Yeah,
are not married anymore, and they were for a while.
Yeah,
maybe that's who I was thinking of.
Okay.
Anyway.
Yeah, so
there you go. Misspoke. Christine Taylor and Ben Stiller actively married. Got married in 2000, so 25 years now.
Yeah.
Which is like crazy for Hollywood.
For celebrity couples, yeah, that is a lifetime. So good for them. And when Rachel says to Phoebe, "Why didn't you tell me she wasn't bald anymore?" And Phoebe just says, "Well, I hardly ever say that about people." Like that's
it's true.
Fair response.
I would not say that.
Yeah, and but then when Phoebe is out, talking to Ross about how it went, and Phoebe, Ross thinks Bonnie is terrific, and Phoebe's like, "Oh, that's too bad," because she knows that Rachel is not happy about
trying
this.
To sway her.
And he's like, "Phoebe, I'm saying I liked her." She's like, "Yeah, you know what? There's other fish in the sea." And he's like, "Phoebes, I'm saying I liked her. We're going out again." She's like, "Are you capable of talking about anything else, Ross?" It's just like Phoebe being Phoebe. Love those lines.
Now I will say this. I checked the transcript. Phoebe never said she was bald.
No, she didn't.
Did not say that.
No, she didn't.
Like, she said, bald. Like, she was at my birthday party 2 years ago. Bald.
Yes, meaning like 2 years ago.
Say was bald. Right. Yeah, but did not say was bald. Yet she says to Rachel, "I said was. Never said was. Not true."
Well,
Phoebe's a liar.
But no, because she said 2 years ago, though, bald. So that is saying 2 years ago, bald.
She's she says, "I said was." She did not say was.
All right. I'm still in Phoebe's corner on this.
But I will, as am I, because let's get to the heart of this story, which is towards the end, where, first of all, Phoebe attempts to distract Rachel with a line of ants.
I love that.
Look at the line of ants. They're working as a team.
I love that line. Yeah.
And clearly, Rachel is seeing Ross through the Central Perk window, and he's clearly progressing in his relationship with Bonnie. Yeah. And Rachel is having a really hard time about this. And Phoebe has her moment with Rachel, much like Chandler did with Ross a few episodes back, where Chandler has to keep Ross out of going in to break up Mark and Rachel.
Yeah.
Phoebe has the moment outside with Rachel, like, "Well, listen, isn't he your friend?
Yes.
Don't you want good things for him?
Yeah.
Are you dating him? No. So then why can't he date her?"
Yeah.
And Rachel has the whole realization of like, well, I do want him to be happy. I just didn't want him to be this happy this fast.
Yeah.
Which is understandable.
Yeah.
But like it is what it is.
Yeah.
Like Rachel's the one who started the we need to move on train.
I think Rachel was just expecting Ross to just chase her forever, right? Like, I think...
Of course.
And that kind of flows right into our next episode, too, where I just am like, oh, there's some cringy moments for Rachel. So I'm just like, yeah, girl, this is not the best, but yeah, it seems like she did have that moment of realization here, and stepped away from blaming Phoebe anyway, which was good. So
she did step away from blaming him or blaming her, I should say, and she also seemed to accept the idea of moving on is not just her moving on, but it's also him moving on. And so now we will move on to episode 3, or season 3, episode 25, The One at the Beach, which I will say is the first time that in a title they use the word at in this context, because most of them have been the one with or the one where. This is the one at the beach.
Oh, good. Yes.
Also, interesting note, whenever they use with, it's lowercase. Whenever they use where, it's capitalized. So take that for what you will.
So, yeah, and that is grammatically correct with the way that titles should be written, which I forget exactly the reasoning why, but where, oh gosh, I would have to look this up and put my English
like the word where is clearly like a more prominent word, and therefore it's
the type of word that it is within the sentence that justifies it being capitalized.
Like at and with are both prepositions, I think, and where is not a preposition in that context.
We're getting
maybe
real
it
nerdy
is
with this English stuff, but yeah, I have noticed that too, Eric, because that's just the way that both of our minds work. Apparently, where I've noticed that as well, because I like to be and I think it's. Well, I think it's because I've also been, when I've been putting these titles out there for our podcast releases, I always am like wanting to be correct with the way that I'm titling things. I'm like, wait a second. And that just like kind of got me back into my English, put my English major hat back on there, and was getting a little bit into that.
There is one other episode. Let me see if I can find it very quickly here. That doesn't use either of them. It's not at, it's something else. At least I don't think it was at. No, it's not season 1. It's in season 2. Just flipping through real quick.
Yeah.
Yes, the one after the Super Bowl, part 1 and part 2. They said after. That's what it is. Otherwise, they're all the one with or the one where. And now we have the one at the beach, which is where we get the trip to the beach, where Phoebe wants to seek out a friend of her parents named Phoebe, who ends up being Phoebe's actual birth mother. Ross is battling trying to start a relationship with Bonnie or going back with Rachel. And Chandler is trying to figure out why Monica won't ever date him. I don't believe that, Monica. But we'll move on. We'll save that for another day. So this is all these storylines are happening.
Yeah.
But they're all still together. So they're all kind of happening while they're all in the same spot.
Yeah.
Which, again, I love the stories where all of them are in the same spot. I will say, and maybe you have a different opinion on this, I'm not a super huge fan of friends away from home base. I think there are some people that love it. Like when they go to the beach, when they go to Vegas, when they go to Barbados, like I don't care. They go to Paris at one point. Like none of this matters to me. I like seeing them at Central Park and in the apartments.
I hear what you're saying, but I love, with the exception of Barbados, because things are just take kind of a really weird turn at that point.
Things are getting weird there.
Yeah, things are getting weird. But I love these episodes at the beach. I really, really like them. I like that it kind of goes over into the next season too, where it leaves you on a cliffhanger and that they're still at the beach when we come back. I also really like when they're in Vegas too, because then you have everything between Monica and Chandler, and that's so great. And I mean, I would say the one in London, just because, oh my gosh, I've seen these so many times and it's just so hard to watch at this point. It's like some of those moments with like Ross trying to get back Emily and all of that, but I don't mind. I feel like because it's usually just at a 1 episode or 2 episode clip, and then we're back, and then they have that kind of shared experience, it just makes it really great. So I do like the beach. This one in particular, I love this episode. I really like how just it all plays out, and that they're there, they're there as a unified, team to help support Phoebe in her quest to find out more about her background, basically. Like, she's just trying to learn, like, hey, I found this picture and I want to go try to find out as much information as I can about my mom's past, and she ends up finding out a whole lot more than she even was expecting.
Now I'll say this, as far as these beach episodes, like, I love Christine Taylor being added to this.
Oh my
even
gosh.
though it's only a few short episodes.
She's so good as Bonnie.
Great.
Yeah.
She's funny. She's very likable.
Yes.
You can see how very easily all of a sudden Rachel is threatened.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Like, immediately.
Yes.
It doesn't take long to go, hold on a second. This girl's the real deal.
Yeah.
And I've got to stop this.
Bonnie has confidence.
Ross could easily Ross could easily say, I'm going to date Bonnie and stick with that for a while.
Yeah, until she balded her, If she hadn't balded her.
Well,
and then I was like, Ross, if you really liked her, I mean, get over the bald head, but I guess, here we are. So that is kind of interesting to me that I was like, Ross, like, I mean, I get it though. It's pretty tough. The baldness is,
by the way, where do you, I know we've talked about a million different actors in this episode so far, I feel like, but Christine Taylor, like, what do you remember her from? Because I know you're going to go all the way back.
Hey Dude.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Hey Dude on Nickelodeon is my first, like, recollection of Christine Taylor.
I loved her in Hey Dude. And yeah.
That show was awesome.
Yes.
And every now and then, like, a reel pops up on my feed that's like the Hey Dude entrance, which is super funny. And seeing her on there, I'm like, yeah, there she is. Like, that's like the one person who escaped that cast for the most part.
Mr. Ernst.
But
yeah,
no, not him.
No, I feel like I saw him in something else. But yeah.
Oh, I'm sure they all. What was it? The guy that played Ted was on a sitcom. Was he on Blossom or one of those shows like that?
You know what he was on?
He was on something.
You know what he was on?
No. You tell me.
I'm pointing at Eric through the screen right now.
I feel threatened very quickly.
No, because it just popped into my mind. He played,
like, he's on, like, Blossom or one of these, like, TGIF shows.
He played Kyle. I don't know where I stored that name in my brain somewhere, on 90210. As someone that Kelly had a crush on,
I was thinking of.
But he was coming out of the closet, and he, like, wouldn't accept a date with her, and she was keeping his secret that he was gay. But yes,
well, there you
played.
Go. But he was also on like one of those sitcoms. But also it was like not as a main character. He was like the boyfriend of a main character.
Yeah. But yeah, that is what
anywho.
But yeah, she was so good. And yeah, again, confidence coming out of her ears, like confident, like that confidence that I'm jealous of, where it's like she just rolls in there, can just strike up a conversation with anyone, and is just like, it's just, when she immediately comes into the to the party and she's like, oh, strip poker, let me catch up, and just like takes off her sweater. The guys are like, what is going on?
Even the guys are like, whoa.
She's like,
just got intense.
Oh, I jumped in the ocean and my suit came off. The guys were laughing. They were so funny. I'm like, oh God. And then she just takes everything at face value, though, right? So then when Rachel is saying to her, oh yeah, the shaved head was such a great look, you should just go for it again. She's like, you know what? I think you're right. Oh, that was a great look. Yeah, Rachel just pushed her right into that. That was very...
Sure, she really, really did.
That was very...
devious Rachel at this moment.
Very devious.
I will say, I did look up, like, hey, how did they do this? Like, did she actually shave her head?
No.
It appears very obvious that she's wearing a bald cap, right?
Yes.
But she has so much hair.
I know.
That
Amazing.
It's like, what did they do?
Right.
So she could have just, like, strapped on a bald cap. But it makes her head look too big because of all the hair that she has. So apparently they spent like hours getting her hair like tightened down enough so that when they put this like cap on her, it didn't look insane. And I guess she said afterwards, if she could do it again, she'd just throw the bald cap on and have a slightly bigger head because she doesn't think it was worth it. But I'll say this, it looked real good.
It did. Oh my gosh, Ross's reaction. I could feel the bones in your skull. Oh my gosh, she's like, yeah, I feel it. Oh no. The moon is bouncing off of her head. Yeah.
Oh my. And then, I mean, not to jump too far. I mean, we're going to talk about all the different stories, but this is where we're left. At the end here, we have Ross and Rachel out on the deck after, Bonnie is bouncing her way out to the water for one last dip in the ocean. Mm-hmm. And there's just this conversation where where Rachel is clearly confused. Mm. She can't forgive Ross, but she still loves Ross. And she doesn't want to be with him, but she kind of does. And it's like, I hate all the stuff that you did, but when we're together, she still feels that thing for him.
Yeah.
And so they end up, Ross finally does the thing you wanted him to do about 4 episodes ago, which is he takes advantage of the moment and he kisses her. And then, of course, Chandler and Joey walk into it and neither of them saw what was happening somehow. Yeah. And so they kind of separate, and then Rachel just says that she's going upstairs and gives Ross the look like, hey, I'm going up there. Right. You're invited.
You make your decision, right? And yeah, I like when...
And then she goes on.
When Chandler and Joey bust in outside, Chandler's going, no, I won't play 1-on-1 strip poker with you for practice, to Joey. Like, what is going on? Because they've been playing... strip poker as a
strip happy days game.
That's right. Strip happy days game. And I do like when Ross is rolling the dice and he goes, Daddy needs a new pair of electromagnetic microscopes for the prehistoric forensics department. And they all look at him like, you nerd.
Yeah.
Like, oh, poor Ross. Yeah.
We really haven't had enough of Ross being a nerd about dinosaurs.
That's right.
Yet. We really haven't. Like, that's going to really ramp up here in the next few seasons.
I appreciate it.
But here's a flash of that. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
So the guys then are out on the porch and they're trying to, like, go through the pros and cons.
Right.
Without making a list. On paper, because we already know that's a mistake.
They do not do that. And Chandler's telling him...
Yeah. I've got judgments about the list later. Oh. We will bring that list back up in the future because I know it. But anyway, they're not making the list, but they are talking about like what they should and shouldn't do. And then Ross goes upstairs, Bonnie's behind one door, Rachel's behind the other, and he opens the door and says hi.
Mm-hmm. But that's all we know.
And the season ends there. And it's the best ending to a Friends season so far.
Yeah, that was a good ending because it was
hands down.
It was just and because we didn't even talk about the whole like before that even gets there, like.
No, yeah, but I'm talking about this cliffhanger moment. Best,
you're right.
Best thing that's happened. True.
Yeah, because there were even rewatches.
Because last season we were complaining about last season.
Yeah.
Last season's ending was garbage.
It just kind of, it fizzled out. It didn't really have a cliffhanger. It just...
Well, and it was the whole, like, it was the Janice reveal is what it was.
Right, there was no cliffhanger, really. It was just sort of that...
No.
Yeah, like...
Now, season 1 is your argument. Mm-hmm. Season 1's the argument because you get Ross and Julie coming off the plane.
That was a good one.
And they don't see Rachel. And Rachel's hanging out there. Good ending. This ending is bad.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because this one is a true cliffhanger, really. Because you don't.
This ending is bad. You don't know. You don't know.
And
you're left wondering.
I really like this one because not only do you have the Ross and Rachel dynamic that you don't know where it's going to go, but you know that like, because she was like clearly flirting with him a lot. He clearly has a lot of feelings for her. They had a moment. They're deciding what to do. You're seeing where Ross is going to pick. But you also have Phoebe finding out that Phoebe at the beach is actually her birth mother. And, she just kind of comes out with that information.
Well, yeah. Okay, so to me, the whole Phoebe storyline with her going and having the conversation and all of the actual content that takes place is whatever. I don't know. Maybe you find it differently. I love, even before you know she's the mom, she's the mom.
I know.
Like, you couldn't pick a better actress or someone who, I don't know what her name is, but she spent a ton of time figuring out how to be Phoebe. Right. Because she has all the mannerisms, she has all the little quirks in the way she says it, and the way she moves her hair. She's spot on.
Yeah.
And it's very clear that this person is connected to Phoebe through
Even
DNA.
when she would say, like, her line where she said, yeah, the other kids had a nickname for us at school, the Three Losers. Where it's like, just keep out with...
That's tough to hear.
And...
like, oh, what was it? Oh, the Three Losers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, that must have been terrible losing your mother like that. Yeah, no, it was great from Phoebe. I like that line too, because this is before she tells her that she's her mom. She's kind of like, holding on to the story that Phoebe knows that like she's supposed to just be her mom's best friend.
And when she tells her, and she's like, listen, I was gonna tell you yesterday, but I just got all floopy.
Yeah,
it's like, okay, you are the mom. Like there are no doubts here. And it's just so good. I feel like that component is really great. All the stuff they talk about, like Chuck Mangione being in the picture and going back to refill the ice tray, and
Phoebe breaks into her house. I believe they call that breaking and entering from Ross. But
are any of those people here? Nope. Okay.
But I actually, and Eric, I don't know if you picked up on, so before they even went to the beach at the beginning of the episode, when Phoebe is telling them like who the other Phoebe is, and she's saying according to her high school yearbook, meaning her mom's high school yearbook, they were like BFF, and she goes best friends forever. And that's actually, that had been it did exist before Friends, but that literally like created this wave of people using that term BFF, and that really is where that came from.
Totally buy into that.
Yeah.
I wrote that down too. I'm like, I wrote Phoebe coins BFF.
She
I don't know
did.
if she truly did coin it for real, but let's give her all the credit for putting it into pop culture.
That's what I read as that, because I'm like, wait, was that a thing before? And apparently it was a thing. She didn't technically coin it, but it became an actual, social, just common terminology after this point. Pretty cool.
Also, line that is quoted in our house, since I seem to give those out as often as I find them. Rachel at the coffee shop before they leave, when she's talking, when Bonnie's like, oh, I have to go to work, I can't go to the beach, and Rachel's like, oh, big fat bummer. Like,
Rachel,
I think Tina uses that as often as humanly possible.
That's good.
Like,
that's good. Oh my gosh, that's good. I do like how in this episode too, you get a lot of the hinting between Chandler being interested in Monica, and kind of testing the waters in a very Chandler way about, hey, I could be your boyfriend. And she's like, oh, you made a joke, right? So I laughed. And he's like, what? I'm not boyfriend material? And she's like, well, you're just Chandler, right? And she, ends up seeing a lot, seeing past that. But I do like that he's just trying to feed that idea to Monica.
Well, you're Chandler with the like punch in the arm. He's like, okay, so we've established my name and you've hit me.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, and I know I've heard the writers talk about when they officially hooked up Chandler and Monica together. They weren't even sure that was going to last for more than an episode or two. That was just maybe going to be a thing. But it took so well. Like, the fans loved it so much that it stuck. And I still think at this juncture, this is not like a layout for what could happen in the future. It's just a conversation between two friends that are single at the time. I genuinely don't believe this was like a field test for, should we hook these two people up? Because it's not going to happen for another like full season.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then once it does, it's like, it's off to the races at that point.
It's true. Yeah. Yeah. It's like, I like to think that all those little things, like when the flashback episode where they had the almost hookup.
It's possible.
These little moments.
It's possible.
It made it seem natural. I'll just say that.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things that when it does happen, and they make the decision, okay, this is what it's going to be, this is what we're going to roll with going forward, then all the things they did before kind of feel like, breadcrumbs all the way there.
Yeah.
But had the reaction for the Chandler Monica getting together moment not gone as well,
I don't know how loose
people might look at this very differently.
Yeah, I don't know how like loose they were with the writing. If like if they were, were kind of led by audience reaction, or I don't know. It would be cool to.
Well, it's supposedly one of the, if not the biggest crowd reactions from the live audience that they got. The reveal of them being together.
Yes, that was so good. Yeah. Yeah.
And you know what? We'll talk about that one in the future, though.
That's right. A little comment on this one. I do like how Joey packed his things in a paper bag to go on his trip to the beach.
Thought that was awesome.
Rachel's like, oh no, so Monica said, oh, did you bring food? He's like, and he just pulls his underwear out of the bag. Like, oh gosh.
Like the Joey. Little things like Joey packing like that. Monica's got a full-on like roll-away bag. Yeah. Rachel showing up in the giant UFO hat. Like, these are all like, I would expect that from all of those characters. That all rings true to each one of them.
And Rachel with the hat, though. Oh gosh, this is one of those moments where I'm like, oh gosh, she only wore that hat because Ross had given it to her, and she was clearly trying to just like Oh, look, Ross gave me this hat. And then they're at the beach and she's trying to paint his toenails and she's just like full on, chasing him around. And, Monica agrees. Yeah, he's flirting with you too, but she's definitely putting it all out there. Like she's making it very clear without saying it that she's interested in Ross. So, yeah. I will say also, I did watch this little clip that had come up on Instagram of Matthew Perry rewatching. It actually was part of this episode where it was when they were at the car and Rachel has the hat on. This is what just made me think of it.
Okay.
And he makes some like joke about the hat. Of course.
He makes an alien invasion joke where it's like, I was taken aboard that hat.
That's right. Yes.
What did they say? They did something to me.
Experiments on me or something. Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
It's hilarious. Matthew Perry, though, his reaction to watching the scene was truly heartbreaking. Not to bring the mood down, but I mean, I get really emotional when I think about Matthew Perry too, because it's just really awful how his life ended, but he was suffering so much, and when he watched this scene he had tears in his eyes and he was just like, I just see a man who's suffering watching this, because I mean Chandler Bing, Matthew Perry was super thin in these, and he, in his book, I don't know if anyone out there has read it too, I'm sure some of you have, and being big fans, and he just talks about how basically when he's really heavy on friends, it's because he was struggling with drinking. And when he was super thin, it's because he was struggling with pills. And so it was like, he just went through all these waves of,
There are, his weight fluctuates more than anybody else. And we know the reasons. Yeah. It's a wild shift. His first 2 seasons, I would say, are very little change in weight.
Yeah.
Maybe by the end of the second season, you start seeing him lose some weight. Yeah. But through the 3rd season, he is on the thinner side.
Yeah.
And there are some others, like we'll see somewhere it just like drops off dramatically or all of a sudden adds quickly. But he does have stretches of like what appear to be truly healthy stretches.
Yeah.
And that's when he's at his best.
Yeah. Yeah. It's, I mean, because his character was always funny. He always pulled it off somehow. It just is kind of like, seeing it from his perspective though. Yeah. That's tough. That's really tough. And it's just, tougher now us seeing him watching it because he's, no longer here.
So now we're going to jump into our IMDb rankings with our favorite and least favorite characters. And now we've got 3 episodes to rank and pull from here today. So, Amanda.
Yes.
Do you have a favorite or least favorite character from these 3 episodes that you want to talk about first?
So I'm going to go with Phoebe for my favorite character for these 3 episodes, because these were big moments for Phoebe. They all were at the beach because of Phoebe. She finds out about, her mom. She was the one who introduced Bonnie to Ross. So there were a lot of great moments, as we talked about, with her just trying to distract Rachel with the ants, and then the funny conversation with Ross where she's like not really listening to what he's saying because she's trying to steer him away from Bonnie, and also her with the 2 dating both of those guys at the same time, and like all the drama and hilariousness around that. So yeah, Phoebe's my favorite for these 3. How about you, Eric?
I'm gonna go with Ross. If I look back, I do truly like Ross and Bonnie together. I wish we could have got more of it, to be honest with you. Would have loved for that to have continued into early season 3, but it is what it is. And I do like them together. And when I go back to the first episode we talked about, Ross and the Kundis is probably my favorite part of that story as well. It's one that I think about. It's one that my kids talk about, having a Kundis every now and then. It's super funny. So I will say I think my favorite character from all of this is Ross, and I will then jump in with least favorite here. So I think my least favorite in these is Monica.
Okay.
I think it's close. I have some I could have said Rachel at one point, but I feel like I've been piling up on Rachel.
Yeah, poor Rachel.
And I think I'm going to... You have Rachel? Is that what you said?
No, I said, yeah, poor Rachel.
Well,
I feel like we've both been piling up on Rachel, but you know what?
I certainly did. I know I've picked her a bunch of times, and I could pick her here too, but I also like Monica, and the end of Pete's relationship is just not my favorite situation. Like, I don't like the way that it all ended, and that's not necessarily all on her. Some of that is on Pete. A lot of it is on Pete, in all honesty. But I don't love that. And I just, the whole Monica blowing Chandler off over and over again, like, I just don't believe that. I think that if you're Monica in that situation, you are going to be like, yeah, I mean, we could. Like the world is ending. But instead, she just is kind of like, nah.
But that's just because Chandler just makes jokes about everything, though. So I think it's just hard to take him actually seriously, especially...
Yeah, but if she even gave an inkling of like, maybe I would be okay, his whole world would be like, oh my God.
He wouldn't even believe it.
A second.
Yeah. Yeah.
He wouldn't believe it, but it would adjust everything that he did.
Yeah.
So I wish I could have seen that. That being said, I'm glad I don't, because I love the like shock of it all down the line.
Yeah. Well, my least favorite, although he isn't a central character, is Pete. For these,
that's fair. I almost changed my mind while I was saying it.
Yeah, because I'm like, dude, I liked him at first. Like when Jon Favreau's character is first introduced, it's like, oh yeah, I like this guy. Like, Monica, you should go for it. That's kind of the feeling that you get. And then he just takes this sharp turn and just is obsessed with this ultimate fighting champion. And I just feel bad for Monica. Like, it's like, you know, she's finally deciding to try to be vulnerable again with someone, and he just once again disappointed for her. So I just felt like I just felt really bad for Monica, and Pete's a jerk, and I'm glad he doesn't come back, even though I love Jon Favreau. But
I co-sign that whole statement.
Yeah.
I think Pete is if it's not Monica, it's Pete. It's one of the two of them. And I will also co-sign, by the way, your favorite. Like, I picked Ross. Phoebe had a great few episodes. She had a really good like run here.
Yeah.
Especially the scene with her talking to Rachel outside the coffee shop about moving on appropriately. I thought that was really great.
So
okay.
Yes.
It's the ratings portion of the episode.
Yes.
Which of these is your favorite?
My favorite is the one at the beach. The last episode here.
Same.
I actually, just to give away my ratings a little bit, I rated these in the order that they were released. So the first one, episode 23, I gave that one the one with Ross's thing, an 8.2. Then I gave episode...
Hold on, let's do this in order. You gave that one an 8.2.
Yes.
Okay. I also rated them in that order.
Oh, really?
So,
okay.
Yeah, well, I think as the season comes to a close, they just get better.
Yeah.
But I have
What did you give that
Ross's thing as an 8. I gave it an 8.5.
Oh, okay. Well, you really I like the whole coolness of it all too, but yeah.
I do. I really do. I think these 3 episodes are notably better than most of what we've seen in the last like 10 episodes.
Yeah.
Going back to the one with the ski trip where they had just broken up, I feel like these all took a step forward.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, agreed. So I gave the next one, episode 24, the one with the Ultimate Fighting Champion, I gave that one an 8.4.
Okay. I gave it an 8.6.
Okay.
Just a little bit higher.
Yep.
But totally, we're both mid-8s, absolutely.
Yeah. And then the one at the beach, I gave that one an 8.7.
I gave it an 8.8.
Okay, cool. So you were just slightly above where
we basically did the exact same thing.
That's so funny.
Except you started a little bit lower than I did.
Yeah.
I will say this. The one at the beach, if that is not the best one, I'll be stumped.
Oh, it's gonna be 100. I would actually.
Here's the funny thing.
It might be in the 9s.
Okay.
I don't know.
That's the actual debate, right? Because a lot of these, like towards the end, have gotten into the 9s. There's a lot of cool stuff that happens in this episode. I just don't think it's gonna get to 9. I don't know why, and maybe it's because it's not at Central Park and in New York, but
oh my god, but the next one, now I'm already thinking about it. It's so funny.
Well, we'll get to that one then.
Yeah, so
okay. You know what?
Yeah.
I like these a lot better than the the consensus.
Oh, really?
A lot better.
Okay.
So I had 8.5, 8.6, and 8.8. You had 8.2, 8.4, 8.7.
Yep.
The one with Ross's thing is a 7.8.
Wow.
That is really low. That's really low by friend standards.
Yeah.
I'm
surprised.
a little surprised at that.
Yeah, especially
people don't like Pete, I think. These Pete episodes are getting killed.
Yeah.
Okay, then we have the one with the Ultimate Fighting Championship, which I gave slightly better and you gave slightly better, and all the fans all gave slightly better, but it went from a 7.8 to an 8. 8 flat.
Okay.
Now, the one at the beach is right where we had it. You had an 8.7, I had an 8.8. It actually is an 8.7.
Okay.
So that is right in line. But that's what I'm saying. There's something about these there's something about these post-breakup season 3 episodes. And I like these ones a little bit better. I feel like we've started to get far enough away. And you also get the idea of like Ross and Rachel kind of getting back together, but maybe
they're hinting at it.
And so maybe that's why I started giving them a little bit better ratings.
Yeah.
But going back to the ski trip, the first one after the breakup, 8.2, 8.2, 8.79, 8.6, that was Chick and the Duck, 8.1, 7, 8, 8. And then 8.7. So these are all really low by friend standards. The friends average is 8.9. These are all almost a full point below.
Well, we've only had 2
crazy
episodes hit as low as 7.6. Those were the 2 lowest. So it was
right. And now we've got 2 of these into the 7s, and we have 3 more that were an 8.1 or lower. That's pretty low by friend standards.
Yeah. I'm still surprised whenever something other than the Brown Bird episode gets into the high 7s. It's like, wow, the Brown Bird episode did way better than it should have.
Oh, by a lot. There were,
because that one got a solid.
The irony
8,
is I clearly am disagreeing with a lot of the fans here because I gave a lot higher ratings on some of these episodes, except for the Chick and the Duck, which I gave a much lower rating, and everybody else gave that one a high one. I don't know. Maybe it's just It's just how it is.
I'm excited to start talking about season 4 because I love season 4. It starts off with a bang. Oh my goodness. It's going to be great.
It really does.
Hope you guys are along with us for that journey.
And with that, thank you so much for listening to the We Run on Reruns podcast. Please check us out on Instagram and TikTok and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We really appreciate all the support we're seeing there so far. Please check out our website at werunonreruns.com. And for Amanda, this is Eric. Enjoy watching the start of Season 4, Episodes 1 and 2 this week. Happy rerunning, everybody.
See you, pal. Bye, guys.